Good morning again, and welcome back to Coffee Conversations with Stephan. Welkom terug bij Koffie Klets met Stephan. And today we are continuing with our narrative and looking at a portion of scripture that is pretty much well known to most of you, I'm sure. It's called the prodigal son. And we find that in Luke chapter 15, verse 11 to 32. And yesterday, I briefly started giving you a bit of an introduction and saying that I think it's one of the most misunderstood portions of Scripture and how rich it is. And when Jesus was telling this, he was almost defying a lot of the customs of the day. And today I want to delve into one or two of those, and then we'll look at the different aspects, the role players, the father, the younger son, the older son, and maybe if you want to, you can go listen to yesterday's one as well. So, the story points really to the extraordinary lengths that the father goes to endure the worst of insults. For example, today, you and I would think little if a son would approach his father and ask him for a portion of his inheritance. But I want to say to you that it was totally unheard of in Jewish custom. It was the implications of such a request would be that if you asked it, and you actually had the audacity to ask this question, you would be severely beaten. So no boy would even cross his mind to think like that. Because what you actually said is, I wish that my father would be dead. That's in essence what you said by your actions, by asking such a question. So there is no such a law or custom amongst Jews or Arabs that entitles the son to actually share in the father's wealth while the father is still in good health. On occasion, a father might share a little bit, some of the stuff, but not the full inheritance. Not the way that this son is making a request. And far less does he demand that he also be given a full right to do with this inheritance and dispose of it whichever way he feels like. And I cannot think of a bigger insult to a parent. Now here's the thing. The father says nothing. This boy needs a good spanking. This boy needs a stern rebuke. But the father says nothing. And it's the first of several instances that the father actually breaks with custom, purely driven by compassion. So it's not so much that the son's sin actually leads him to do as, and the things that he's doing wrong, as is the father's love. Once again, we come to the father's love to endure. The love, in the Old Testament, we often see your love endures forever. And we say that. But here we actually see the father's love enduring forever. The father, by custom and community, should refuse this request from the son. And he should actually severely discipline, but instead he grants him his wishes. So now we are also very familiar on how the son squanders all the money, all this inheritance. He wastes it, basically. And you could just fill in the blanks. And after he reached the end of his resources, after he reached the end of everything, this Jew boy is finding himself living with pigs. Again, it's not customary. You're not even allowed to touch a pig. But this boy is sitting in a pig pen eating the food of the pigs. And he starts making a plan. He starts thinking. And he rather says, maybe I should become one of my father's servants. Anything would be better than this. And he's sitting in there, he's thinking, maybe my dad thinks I am dead. I am in for a rude reception when I get home. Man, they're going to beat me. Also the mockery and all the taunting and all the things that are going to happen, and rejection and perhaps physical beatings. He's thinking about all of this. Meanwhile, I suspect the father is spending his days waiting for the son and for the son's return. Each day a bit more grieved. Each day a little bit more, heartbroken. Waiting for the son to return back home. And each day the people of the community would marvel at his patience and his love for his son. That is the good Father that we serve, waiting for you patiently to return back home. No matter what you've done, no matter how big your sin is or how big you think your sin is, Jesus wants to embrace you. Run into his arms. Don't think about all the repercussions. Think about his love. I want to bless you and say I love you, and run into the arms of the good Father.